Okay, Rubu, here's something wild. What if there is a report card that scores parents too? I repeat, what if there is a report card which scores parents too?
Wow, I can already imagine how unpalatable that is going to be for the parents out there. I mean, the first time this idea of parent report card, a report card that scores parents, was raised in a seminar, the parents had their ears raised. They were like, we already have our own busy schedules, we have our career obligations, we have our commitments. We don't have the time to be scored by the teachers. I mean, we come to the PT meet just to see what our children are doing and not for ourselves. But who's going to tell them that the reason their children struggle is because of their own preoccupations, their own occupations?
Often the teachers, they say these things. The child is silly, he does silly errors, he's distracted. Where does all this come from?
Exactly. The children are not born into a vacuum, right? They are born into an ecosystem. The ecosystem is of genes, of habits, of language, of lifestyle, of expectations, of the unfulfilled dreams and aspirations of the parents. Okay, let's take the example of Finland. Now, that's the education system out there. The education system of Finland, which everybody in India is talking about, is the best. But do you even know why it is called the best? That's because there, the children alone are not being scored. There are evaluations for the home atmosphere. The teachers there are documenting even the parental involvement. Imagine doing that in India.
But do you think Indian parents would want that? Imagine going to a PT meet and you're just not getting your child's score, you're getting your scores too.
Well, I'm very sure the parents in India are not going to let that happen. But if we can start it in a certain subtle way, maybe the parents will begin realizing that their child is not that separate from them. He is their own mini version. Maybe they can begin rethinking when they come to the PT meet with their meaningless complaints. For example, if they say, oh, my child is fidgety, he is distracted, he is disinterested, maybe they need to recall, maybe they were the ones who were also fidgety. Maybe they also had the ADHD. Maybe they too were distracted. Maybe the emotional volatility that their child is suffering from, that came from them. There could be a strong inheritable link between that. And once that begins happening, the parents, of course, would begin realizing that they're not parenting a child. They're in fact parenting their own past self. That's their second chance to be better at what their parents couldn't do.
Right. So the idea of scoring a parent is not to shame them, but to make them realize what their child is and what is the best version of them.
Exactly. And it could be as simple as, let's say, just checking out the language exposure at home, just scoring whether the parents are making efforts with math and logic or not, or whether the parents are aware regarding the mental health of the child, or just evaluating the lifestyle rhythms of the parents. Is it healthy or not? Simple as that.
And often the parents say that my child is spending 6 to 8 hours in the school and why is he not learning this thing? Then the answer to that is?
I think the simple answer is, even if let's take the analogy of supermarkets. If you spend, let's say, the whole day in the supermarket, doesn't mean you're going to buy everything, right? You will only buy what you need and want. Likewise, if the child spends time at multiple places, doesn't mean he's going to pick everything good. He's only going to pick what is quickest, what is easiest for him. And that's certainly the things he sees his parents doing, the elements of his household atmosphere. So that is why I think we need to rethink when we complain about school not doing their job.
Seems like parental report card can be a game changer in the parenting world.
Exactly. Parents can stop thinking about their children as robots, with them being the authorities who are just commanding them. It can make them stop thinking their children as vessels of compensation and not exactly individuals with their own direction. It can give them context how to look at the habits and choices their children make, and they can discover the areas they need to show more compassion to their own child. And of course, it can make them more accountable. So what do you think? Should there be a scorecard for the parents too? For more parenting and education insights, follow us. All the best.
All the best.